Oh,
Do
whatever.
you have like
I'll just
things to talk about?
no, I didn't. I never. I stopped planning things because it felt too like what's the word,
Planned
artificial. Yeah,
or
like
artificial, sure.
unnatural. I felt
Yeah.
kind of restricted in what I
Yeah, we're just
said.
going off the rails. We're just
That's
riffing.
that's a music word.
Yeah, yeah, that could be, yeah. Um what's
I didn't hear that last part.
what's going on in Brian world?
Brian World. What did I do today? The majority, you kind of know, but the majority of the week of mine was just work. But Sunday, I had work off and
Nice.
went to church. Came home, ate some food, went to bed again.
Nice.
That's kind of routine. Go to church and go back to bed.
For sure I get it.
Is your family
I gotta
religious at all?
yeah. Uh kind of my mom's kind of religious, but it's more just for like the family side of it, just getting everyone together and stuff.
Right, like it's kind
It's
of
never yeah,
like
it's never
community
super been
building
about
ish,
like
family building.
yeah, it's never like really been about the religion or anything. It's just more just everyone coming together, which
I think
I can totally
yeah,
get behind. But
I see
you
the
know,
pattern. With I
yeah,
see yeah, I've seen that.
being like an angry 13-year-old being dragged to church. I never really got it, but
Uh
you know,
huh.
I see it a little bit more now.
Right. I had this. I Yeah. My mom dragged me to a confession today as well because like I haven't done that in a while, and I had this really weird existential crisis. Like
Oh no.
because there's like two different priests. One of
Mhm.
them is from somewhere in Africa. I can't remember, and the other one is like this white dude. And I like instinctively got in line to the white guy, and I was like, wait a second, like why did I choose him over the the African priest? Do I have something against? Like I'm not racist, am I? And I was
Losing that
debating.
means you're racist. So,
I was debating. Yeah, I was debating it for the longest time
but
in line.
you're gonna get canceled talking like that.
Oh no, they're gonna clip this. They're gonna clip that little part out out of
You're gonna be
context.
famous in a year or so, and they're gonna find this video. They're gonna go,
I'm gonna
Brian is racist.
I'm gonna have to make the best YouTube apology ever. Guys,
If you
I'm
don't mind
so
me, if you don't mind me asking, what do you celebrate?
celebrate. What do you mean?
Like, what's your religion?
Uh, oh, uh, Catholicism. I've never heard anyone say celebrate before.
I try to like say that I don't want to say like, oh, what do you worship? And then
Oh,
someone's like, well, I'm Buddhist, so
gotcha.
and it's
Yeah,
like, oh, sorry, you know, so it's like, what do you,
right, right.
what's your
I've
religion, I
heard more
guess.
like what do you practice, but
Yeah,
I
that
get
that
that
would
too. What
be
do you
better, yeah.
celebrate? No, no, that makes I hear what you're saying. I am Catholic, but I don't think I've ever fully identified with Catholicism. Like I've always been on and off.
Yeah.
Um,
I never really I never like super believed in it. It's just sort of been like who's to say, really?
mm-hmm.
My family's very Roman Catholic, which is
Same.
just like being Catholic, but like being lazy, so you don't do anything. You go to
Yeah.
mass once a week, and then that's pretty much it.
Yeah, there's I've been trying to like be less like stubborn about like I don't think I was ever atheist. I was always just like it just didn't make sense to me and I kind of wanted to like understand more. But like
Hmm.
the thing about the thing is that I don't know how like I don't want to generalize anyone, but like how do you people practice Roman Catholicism? No, because like Vietnamese Catholicism, kind of Roman Catholic, Vietnamese, whatever, they kind of operate differently. Like there's this mix between the culture as well as the religion, and they kind of come to a segue. Like, and I didn't really like that about my church a lot. Like the like Vietnamese culture, there's like things about it that I like, but also things I don't like. And the things I don't like is that it's like a heavy drinking culture, and like that very much collides with like being a good Roman Catholic and just like I don't know, um, just like spending more time, like and less time indulging yourself. um, and
Yeah.
I think that's kind of like what didn't make sense to me. So I started like going to some of the. I think like there's some Christian clubs at UMass.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, back to you. Like, how did like things? How did like in general like things run in your church? Like, did you mind it or like did you kind of step away for some reasons?
I mean, I didn't pay attention,
Good
and also like
answer. Good answer.
it's like they had like several like masses per week. My mom ever only went to once a week. That was like if we went to one week, we weren't gonna go until the next week. But a lot of times we ended up just like skipping. It would be like a month sometimes before I'd go to church again, and it really like I never super believed it. I always had to go to CCD, and I don't know if everyone knows what CCD is. I like everyone in
I know what it is, but what's the acronym? Honestly,
I have no idea. I couldn't tell you.
everyone that's ever done CCD was not actually Catholic and doesn't know the acronym.
Yeah. It was just like this like really dumbed down version of like church school or Sunday school. It was just like it depended on who you had. Like I had like a lot of my friends' parents taught and I would have them because they would kind of like pick the classes. And it would always just be us just like we're like, all right, today we're gonna color a picture and I'd just do that and then I'd go home. And then sometimes you'd have like a really bad teacher and they'd be like, we're gonna read from the Bible. And we'd read about the time Abraham was gonna kill his son for God. And then they're like, that's the devotion you need to give God. And we're all like, we have to kill someone for God? Why would he make us do that? And then she's just like, because
Lost
he's
for
God.
words. Yeah,
Yeah, and it's like, I don't think you're doing a good job of convincing anyone here. So
right. It's yeah. I don't think a lot of adults really gave. I went to a elementary private school. It was a Catholic
mhm.
school, and like none of the adults there like gave us like 7 year olds good answers either growing up. So like I don't.
Yeah,
That seems to be the running theme. I feel like CCD. It feels like the church version of prom. Like everyone gets dressed up and they walk down the red carpet for their parents to take pictures and stuff. Like they're just kind of
yeah, for like
prom.
their confirmation and stuff.
Yeah, yeah. It's like they get the photos and it's like we're done.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like mom, I'm not going to church ever again after this.
Yeah, no, my mom like made me get like confirmed all the way through. She's like, now you can get married in the church, and I'm like, you couldn't pay me to get married in the church. I don't. So, jokes on her.
Right. Do you have any siblings?
I do. I have two. I have
I've
older brother and older sister. My brother is 33. My sister's 30 or 31. I'm 21. So
hmm.
a
I
little
think
bit of a surprise
yeah,
coming in
yeah.
10 years later.
Did they go through the same routine like you?
Yeah, pretty much. I think they went through all the way, got confirmed and stuff, and then yeah, they they pretty much did everything I did. I went to college. Well, I haven't finished college, so I don't know what I'll do after, but um, probably similar to them. Just got a job, just started working.
Are they living with you right now or?
No, they moved out a long time ago, pretty much
Hmm.
right after college. So my brother, he lived in and around Boston for a while. He was in like Jamaica Plain, then he was in Alston, and he just recently moved out, and he's closer to Rhode Island now.
Hmm.
And my sister went to college in Providence. She went to Johnson and Wales, so she stayed in Providence because she really liked it, and she found her current fiance, and she's living with him, and they're gonna get married at
That's
some point.
always yeah. That's always because you're like I don't know 20 maybe 20 something or just
Um,
20 and like they're like 10 years older than you. Like I feel like and they're married too or like she's married right
yeah,
maybe.
she's engaged. They were gonna get married like September, I think this year or maybe last year, and it got pushed back because my sister had some like weird health problems they wanted to figure out, and then it got pushed back again, and then it got pushed back again, and now the date is like September 2022 or something. So
Mhm.
they're a little bit away.
Yeah, that's always a weird gap, a social gap in like sibling stuff. Like my brother's only like a few years older than me, so like we're not too distant. I mean, we're distant for other reasons, but yeah, yeah,
I'm actually pretty lucky. I'm really actually pretty close with both my siblings.
that's good.
All stuff, and it's yeah, they're just like really honestly like some of the best people I know, and
Mm,
you know I love them, so
awesome.
works out. Yeah, but yeah, I am sick right now
I
with
cannot tell.
probably COVID. Yeah, it's not. I don't have a lot of like the flu like symptoms. I just feel like tired and sluggish, and my head's a little fuzzy.
Mm,
Overall, I'm good. It was like a couple days ago we record, and I was just like, I woke up and I just like could not shake this feeling, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna have to cancel. And then yesterday I was like totally fine, and then today I woke up again and I was just like, nah, whatever.
yeah.
I'll just push through.
How how much snow is in your area right now?
Not a well, pretty good amount. We had like we almost had like a foot, I think, when it snowed. It's like melted a little bit. I think it's like raining right now, so it's probably all gone. But we had a
Yeah.
pretty good amount. What about you?
Uh, like we had one snow day, and then it's pretty much all melted now. So like no inches really. I've kind of forgotten what Massachusetts, how bad Massachusetts like snow gets.
Are you in Massachusetts?
No, I'm in Nebraska, Omaha.
Oh, you're in Nebraska. Wait, what? Are you from Nebraska?
No, my parents moved out here like 2 years ago. So pretty much like
Oh, wow.
pretty much when I got on campus, like my dad was already gone to Omaha, and my mom was like on her way to leave already to like pack up and everything. Like I helped her pack up the house, and then I left for school and stuff. And
I'm a like dumbass, and I'm looking up a picture of the United States because I don't know where Nebraska is. Oh, it's right there. Oh, I was thinking of Nevada. Weird.
where I'm gonna hop on that train. Where's Nevada?
Nevada is next to California. It's where
Is that Vegas?
yeah, it's Las Vegas. Yeah.
Okay.
So you're in the dead center of the country. Okay.
Yeah. Do you know what I don't understand? Like, uh, geographically, we're labeled as the Midwest, but we're dead center. Like, nothing about it says West at all. We're like, we should get our own category. It's like the center, the
Yeah,
focal point.
I guess if you cut the country in half though, Texas wouldn't be in the middle. You know, like you see that line of like Minnesota, Iowa, Missouri, that like shared line.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the middle, you know? Because there are a lot of like smaller countries to the right.
Mm, stupid map. I guess. Yeah, I see. I see what you mean.
Yeah. I think it's probably for a time zone thing too, right?
Do time zones affect like I don't I'm not smart enough to know how time zones affect like oh you barely passed the margin so you're an hour you're gonna be an hour later now.
Yeah, get fucked, idiot.
Social construct to define time, not
You guys get like
location.
tornadoes and stuff?
I thought we did, but we've never had any crazy weather. I think we had a tornado like a long time ago, but I always see like I always there's like a lot of farm in Nebraska, and I do jobs out in Nebraska, and I see like these war torn looking ranches, and I think to myself like a tornado must have passed through here at some point, but like
I see
it's
those places in Massachusetts too. I'm like, a tornado definitely hit this house because it's a disaster,
uh,
but not the
yeah.
house next to it. The house next to it is fine. But
People like I don't know Arnish or whatever. I don't know who tells me this. I think my friend Robbie from back home was telling me like Brian, you should pick up like a southern drawl, like act kind of country, like pretend you've never seen the city before. Like really,
that's
I don't.
good.
Huh?
You could pull it off.
I don't think I could. I don't know. I don't know countryisms exactly. I like Googled some countryisms and like some like country Twitter people to
Hmm.
like, but I could not like vibe with it. Like,
I think that like the trick is just to like lower your voice an octave and talk slower and just be like kind of sexist. Like call every woman you see like Lassie or something, and then that's like,
Hey, Lassie.
yeah, that's like that. But like lower your voice, like a little bit.
Hey, Lassie.
That's it. That's it, dude. That's
Here to
it.
square dance.
That's it, dude. And then just start dancing because no one knows what square dancing is. No one know. Like you like if some Southern guy was like, I'm gonna start square dancing, and it started like, I'd be like, that must be it. That
I don't know. He's from Omaha. Like we have. I did some research on our town. I mean, the city. Like, yeah, we have like the second most cattle per square inch. I
second
think we
most
I think we have
cattle.
I think we have the first most four wheelers. uh,
The
dude,
second most cattle per square inch. Get the fuck out of here with these rookie numbers. Second, that's
Texas
first
Tex
loser, Brian.
that's what Texas is telling us right now.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wouldn't even say if you wanted to keep like the southern aesthetic, I wouldn't even say Nebraska because for some reason I don't think of Nebraska when I think of like southern states. I would just say Omaha.
Omaha.
Omaha is like the perfect southern city name.
Huh. It's such a southern city too. Like it's not like a booming. It doesn't have like huge buildings exactly. It's very suburban looking, like very plain.
Nice.
Gotta learn how to shoot a gun.
Sure.
Go fishing.
Quick drop pistols. I
Actually,
just
oh no, please go ahead.
here you go.
I like watched my first like Western film
Oh
because
really?
yeah, what is it? The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly.
Yeah.
And like now, like I always whistle the tune, and like I don't know. I feel like I want to be a cowboy.
Um I just got my PS5.
Oh, look at that!
Pretty pretty lit. I I was trying to get one for about a month, pretty much since they dropped, and I've been holistically unable to get it. I got my brother on there too. My brother was trying, like no shot. And then like one of the drops, I think Best Buy was doing one recently, and my girlfriend hopped on and she just threaded the needle, like perfect shot and got it.
Huh? Is she a gamer? That's
I'm
a weird word.
slowly converting her into being a gamer.
Mm-hmm.
I got her to play
So she has a
Minecraft.
PS5, and your brother has a PS5 too, or
No, they don't. My brother was trying to get one for me. They were trying
oh,
to come help me, and
got it.
he was unable to get it. I was unable to, and then my girlfriend, like her like second try, she got me one.
Wow,
Like
that's a
it was
keeper.
kind of it was like a little annoying. I was like, really? I was trying so hard, but she got it, and it was just like perfect. And then it was supposed to come in yesterday, and she was gonna get it for me today anyway. But she got an email that was like, we're slow on deliveries. It's not gonna be there. But she ordered it like where I am, because the Best Buy near me, but they have to ship it out from their supplier because they don't actually have any in store. And they're like, yeah, it's gonna be delayed. And then apparently she got a text today that was like, it's coming in. So she just came by and she just dropped it off for me. I was super pumped.
I'm kind of illiterate because I haven't played games in a while. But can you play PS4 games on PS5 or
Yeah, they're working up the backwards compatibility. I'm not sure
okay?
what games are backwards compatible, but I actually came from Xbox.
Oh, okay.
But I
So,
have an Xbox One,
uh-huh.
switching over to PS5.
Did you
I should have made the swap like last generation, but I didn't for whatever reason.
hmm. Do you have any games on it right now?
I haven't even opened it. I like
Oh, okay.
literally, yeah, like she came over at like, so it's like 5:30 right now. She came over at like 4:45.
Oh, so you just got the PS5.
I literally just got it, yeah.
Wow, okay.
Like it's still
It's
in the
not even
box and
Christmas
stuff.
yet. Wow.
Yeah.
That's
I'm
awesome.
very excited. But
What games are coming out for the PS5? I mean, they showed some trailers so for some
yeah,
upcoming
I'm pretty
games.
excited for they already have a bunch of games on there. So like when I buy like the PlayStation Plus or whatever, like the live version, they already give you a couple of games. But I'm really looking forward to I'm somewhat looking forward to the new Call of Duty, and I'm really looking forward to the new Spider-Man game.
Right. Oh, my brother finished through the Miles Morales one. It's I didn't get it too much into the first one, but that's because I never touched it much. But like the second one's really nice too. So,
It looks really good. I've been kind of avoiding watching people play it because I want to play it for myself. But
right.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, and then Cyberpunk is a kind of a disaster. But
I hear. Is that I don't know how games work. I don't know if that's like something they can fix. I haven't really seen any of the bugs exactly. Like it just runs slow and like
it
some
like
the
runs
the
slow and like
shapes like
start and like there are like legitimately just like game breaking bugs and just like I've seen people talk about it. It's like you have to like do crazy stuff. Like you have to like like uninstall then reinstall then like reload a get like an NPC to show up for them to like give you a mission, and it's like and I've heard like once like the missions are going and running they're fine, but it's like there are some issues with like sometimes you do a whole mission and you just like it's just like you didn't do this, you have to do it now, and you're like I just did it, why do I have to do it again,
huh.
and stuff like that. And but it seems like they put out a message a couple days ago on Twitter that was just like we're doing two big fixes, one in January, one in February, and it'll probably fix it. But if you're trying to play on PS4 and Xbox One, then tough luck because it's never gonna run. So
A side topic, but I don't know if can you see on your screen? Your screen's doing like a
yeah,
strobe.
I'm like flashing, right?
It's like doing a strobe light effect, which it's kind of
I don't
cool.
know what is up
It
with
doesn't
this
bother me, but
camera. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't know what it is. It's like if I'm here, it goes like red shift, and if I go here, it like green shifts.
I see what happens.
Like, I don't know. I think it's like I changed the light
Is
dynamic.
it
Oh,
like the
now I
window,
got
the
it.
window behind you?
And just like reset it.
Yeah,
No, that
I can roll with this honestly. It makes
oh, it bugs me when I see it.
it adds ambiance. Like there's a
So I'm
party.
like I'm like in class, and my fucking camera is like. All right, we're good.
Excuse me, the student with the flashing screens.
Yeah, I'm like partying over here.
Yeah, yeah.
How did the semester go?
It was pretty chill. I didn't take any particularly hard classes, like, because honestly, like for a biology major, after you get through Orgo, like I feel like that's the peak of like of your school year. I mean,
Yeah,
career, and then the other, and then you sort of start. I mean, a lot of people, I guess there are people that find Orgo interesting, not me, but I've found other classes more interesting than Orgo and the like the requisite biology
yeah.
classes as opposed to electives. I just like mainly took electives this year and taking some
Nice.
more, and like that's kind of my academic career after that. Just graduate, finish some more electives, but I have to go back to school for Orgo lab at some point.
It
Yeah.
stinks.
Yeah. But other than that, like it's gone pretty smoothly.
That's
It's
good.
it's yeah, it's weird. Like the online setting, like you never realize certain people are in your class until like because like some one of my classes, it was a history class where like it's completely asynchronous, completely. Discussion sections are split up, and I was desperate one night to get like some homework done. I mean, to get a project done, and I went to like other discussion sections to see what they said about stuff. And I saw that Sarah was was in my class. I
Oh
was like,
wow,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
that's pretty funny.
yeah. But overall, like I feel like my professors in general are pretty graceful. Like I feel like I don't deserve the grades I deserve because like they were like, all right, like we're so understanding. We're gonna like bump your grade up. We're gonna. It's okay if you can't get this in by now. It's like
Wish I had. I wish I had that, man.
you're a math major, right?
I had a pretty. It turned out okay, but I had a pretty rough start to the semester.
Hmm.
Started taking this class. It's like Math 461. It's like geometry. It's like the worst class I've ever taken. the professor was super nice, but the class was just so hard. I just didn't get it, like at any bit. And like what stressed me out a ton was like the homeworks were graded so harshly, but it was like because you could work with other people, but then they were worth like 40% of your grade.
Dang,
So
homework.
like, yeah, so like my homework grades, there were like week grades were like there it went like I got like a 95 on the first one, and then I got a 35, then a 30, then a 75 and 85, then like a 25, and then like an 80 again. And then it was like, what was this like so weird? And he ended up dropping like three of them. So I ended up doing math out and I'm like, oh, I actually can't fail. I just took the class pass fail.
Mm-hmm.
So I just didn't even do the last homework because it was gonna be dropped. And then
Mm.
I then the exams were pretty hard, but I did okay on them. So I ended up getting like a 70 something in the class, but it just counted as a pass, so works for me.
I'm like sitting here thinking to myself, like, hey, I did pretty well in basic geometry in high school. Like, this is probably no sweat.
No, this was it was like I got some like homework on I got some questions from the homework that I just like couldn't answer. I was just looking at it, I'm like, this doesn't mean anything to anyone. This is just random letters and words.
Hmm.
Like it was like so weird. I've like never been so confused in a class before. And I just go to the professor and I'm like, I don't understand what this is saying. And he's like, well, it just means this. And I'm like, okay, what does that mean? Explain that to me. And I was like,
Yeah, I'm
and then he would just
like,
tell me the answer.
yeah, I
So
can't even comprehend like what advanced geometry looks like, honestly.
neither can I. So we're good. I don't have to take anything else though. Apparently there's a geometry 2 though
Hmm.
that is just 462. And I was just like, yeah, I don't ever want to take that ever in my life.
Uh-huh.
Oh, it's so bad.
Are there any like classes you enjoyed?
Yeah. Yeah, there were, let's see. I took like a human development class that was just like a really easy version of any psychology class that I've taken like 10 of those. So pretty standard. It seems like it was a class that a lot of like freshmen took. I added it to my schedule super late because one of my classes that I was gonna take didn't run, and so I was like, crap, I need to finish my minor, and that was just like one of the classes that fit. It was
Was
just
it
like
was it teaching minor? I can't remember what the name of it.
education minor.
Okay.
So it's like I have like a math major, so I'll get like my master's degree in math, but it's like teaching concentration, and then on top of that, I just did an education minor.
Hmm.
That's to help me get into this like grad program I want to do.
Oh.
Um, but yeah, there's like human development class. It seems like a class a lot of freshmen take just because like every group assignment I had, it was like everyone was a freshman except for me. And then just like the way the class was run, it was like she gave us like a research like our research paper. It's like the only source we could use was our book. And she assigned it in like October 1st and it was due like November 20th, right? So she gave us like almost 2 months to do this thing. It was 5 pages double spaced. And it was like 5 paragraphs of work that she like lays out super simply. I did it in like an hour and a half. Like the night before it was due, I got like a 96 on it.
Hmm.
But there were people in the class where like she mentioned a couple times she's like in class. It's like 2 weeks into the assignment. It's like mid-October. She's like, yes, you guys should be making good progress on research papers. And everyone in the class is like, I am. And I'm in a group assignment with like these freshmen. It's like a week before things due. They're like, they're like, oh, I'm having such a hard time on the last paragraph. And like they're talking like, and I'm like, on what? And they're like, the research paper. And I'm like, what research paper? They're like, you haven't started yet? I'm like, no, I haven't started yet. It's not due for a week. Like, oh, good. I like the silence. The silence is good. All right. Do I have to crop this brand out?
Sorry, shame. Yeah, no. If you need to plug,
Sponsored by Gap.
I thought it's for a second. I don't even know what I was thinking it was. Probably Gap. Yeah.
Pag.
Huh?
Pag.
I thought it was just a big W. I don't know why.
Pag.
Wait, what?
You read it that way, it's just Pag.
No. My screen doesn't reverse it. No.
No,
No.
you're just too smart for me. Then I get it.
No, because it's not mirrored.
But
It's
no, I
like
get it. Your IQ's too high. It's fine. It's whatever.
it's not a euphemism. I literally can read 3.
Oh, look at me, I'm Brian. I can read. Brian.
Hey, I'm in the 1st grade and I learned how to read.
I read at a 3rd grade level, so so I can't read, but I need every article that a teacher tells me to read in an audiobook format.
I can't handle audiobooks. Do you like audiobooks? Like can you like multitask, like do something else and read, like listen to a book?
Yeah, I usually do it when I'm like if I'm playing a video game that's like really like grindy and I'm just like not really focusing on what I'm doing, but I want to like have something in the background, I'll put like an audiobook on. Like I listen to a lot of podcasts.
Ooh.
Those are good. I know I like being a white dude and saying the word podcast is such like a troubled like it's such like a yikes thing.
I didn't really bat an eye, but like I know of the like the stigma of like saying like I listen to the Joe Rogan podcast.
No, that's exactly what I was literally gonna be like. I was going to be like, yeah, listen to the Joe Rogan.
Have you heard of a keto diet?
I have no attention. I listen to podcasts by people who understand current events and aren't racist or sexist or an incel. So it's usually my standard. So
cool. Any people? Any recommendations?
Yeah, I mean, like the McElroy brothers, they have a couple podcasts.
McElroy.
Yeah, McElroy.
Okay.
They're 3 brothers. They have one podcast called My Brother and Me, which is like their comedy advice podcast. Very good. Very, very good, very wholesome. They have one called The Adventure Zone where they all play D&D with their dad. And it's hilarious because they're all just birds. They always just stick around. And I listened to a different podcast called The Worst Idea of All Time. And it's these 2 New Zealand guys. One's they're named Tim and Guy, respectively. And they do a podcast. They watch a movie. They pick a movie. I think the first thing they did was Grown Ups 2. They picked Grown Ups 2. They watched Grown Ups 2 for 1 week, and then they did a podcast like reviewing it. And then the next week they watched Grown Ups 2, and they did that for 100 podcasts in a row, once a week. So for about 2 years they watched the same movie.
Oh.
And then they did Sex in the City 2.
How much analysis can you take from Grown Ups 2? And then Adam Sandler jumped off the cliff, and
they start like devising their own like subplots and like some like really dark backgrounds of like there's like a shadowy figure who's like controlling all of them, and they're actually in this state of limbo, so they actually relive the same day every day. Like they just get like crazy theories, but like by episode 30 or 40 they just stop talking about the movie entirely. like they'll go like episode 30 to 36, they just don't even talk about the movie, and then they get to 37 and they're like, oh, we didn't talk about the movie the last 6 like podcasts, so we should do that.
Oh my.
Yeah, they're doing I don't know if you ever heard of the Emmanuel series. It's this series of softcore porns.
No.
It's actually they changed the rules a little bit because they're watching every Emmanuel movie, so it's a different movie every time, which is a lot different from their usual formula. But it's been very.
I'll consider watching it. Like,
yeah, they're pretty funny. They interlude like this own like a different podcast within the Worst Idea of All Time called The Friend Zone, where it's just the 2 guys who do it, just like being buds, being friends and stuff. They read like fan mail and stuff. It's pretty funny. but yeah, so do you listen to any podcasts or anything, or?
Yeah. I don't really stay with a podcast for a while. I kind of just move around a lot.
I gotcha.
Um, Recently, there's this guy called Lex Fridman, and he like brings on like different types of guests. It's like a host type of get host
Yeah,
guest type of podcast show.
yeah, like the
Um,
Joe Rogan podcast.
yeah, yeah, like that. Yeah,
I think, I don't know, I've never watched it.
yeah. No, it's exactly like that, honestly. Um, Occasionally, I'll watch Joe Rogan if there's a guest that like I'm like, whoa, he has this person on. It's like, oh, I gotta
Hmm.
watch this. Yeah. Um, who do I really like? I don't know. I was listening to a psychology podcast for a while because it was
Yeah,
like it was giving insight on like healthy relationships and like dealing with emotions and stuff because I'm an
that's pretty
emotional
cool.
being. Um, uh, oh man, I can't think of any other ones that like really blew my mind. I was really into like this it was like a fictional like ghost story kind of podcast. I think they only had like 7 episodes. It's like called
Yeah.
Limetown. It was called Limetown. Like it was supposed to be like it was a fictional documentary audio based on like a fictional town, like the disappearance of the people. And like
Oh,
it
that's
felt,
pretty cool.
yeah, I'm getting goosebumps right now just trying to like recollect my thoughts because I don't know, they just went into so much detail and it felt so real, like the town and the interviews like from the fictional denizens of the town and like
Hmm.
yeah. But I don't know if I have a particular type of podcast I'm into. You ever heard of
Yeah,
Super
I
Mega?
have I heard what?
Super Mega.
No.
Oh, they're like gamers and they like play Animal Crossing and they kind of dick around in their podcast too. I like dicking around too.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah.
I'm always a good fan of the Dickon. So
Right.
wait, um, I
Clip
mean,
that.
um, no, there's another good one. I listened to one recently called The Wind of Change or Wind of Change or something. I don't know if you ever heard of it. It was a pretty short. It was, well, somewhat short. It was like 13 or 14 episodes. It's completed if if you're like me and you like things to finish. It was very good. It was I don't know if you know like Crooked Media is.
Not exactly. They're like
They
fake
they're
news
like
or
Crooked Media is like this like brand. They were like, I think they were like all like Obama administration people, and they do like the liberal version of Fox News essentially. So they
hmm,
just like straight leftist media.
gotcha.
Um,
They
it's all
bring
pretty
on
good. I like it. It's a guy who has worked with Crooked Media. He's like a reporter, and he has a lot of friends who are in like the CIA, and they're reviewing conspiracy that they started from someone in the. It's this idea, like, I don't know if you know the band The Scorpions.
I do not know my bands.
They're like they're this like kind of like dusty rock sort of band, kind of like AC/DC and stuff, but they were actually like really popular kind of pretty much everywhere that wasn't America. They were this German band and they sung in English, and they almost exclusively played places that did not speak English. And they're incredibly popular, and they were super popular around like the Cold War time, and especially around the time that like Berlin was being occupied by US and Russia, and they had the wall up and stuff. And at the time there was this huge concert in Moscow that was pretty much when like the USSR was like falling. And around this time they wrote this song called it's called The Wind of Change, or Wind, yeah, I think it's called The Wind of Change or something like that. And it was this like revolutionary like anthem for the Cold War and for like freedom from like, or like I say freedom, like capitalism. And it became like, like the spark of revolution in Russia that caused the USSR to fall and caused the wall to fall. And the rumor is that the CIA wrote that song
Hmm.
and used it to like spread their like propaganda throughout Russia. And like That was the idea, and it was a really cool idea. And the guy started out and he was just like, "This is a conspiracy, and I am willing to be proven wrong in this. So if if the information suggests that I am wrong, I will present it like that. But we're trying to prove this true or false or something like that." And it was really cool. It was a very cool little documentary. It got it got pretty philosophical because at one point it's almost like they interview so many people from like Russia and from Germany and from all these other places, and they talk about this song like Wind of Change, and they're like, this song like saved me and all this stuff, and it's like, but then they bring up like, well, do you think it was written by the CIA? And then people get like offended. They're like, why would you try to take that from me, you know? And so it gets like to this like, well, even if we can prove it right, like, should we, you know? And it became that like sort of philosophical. It was phenomenal though.
Mm. So there's a it's just a podcast. It's not like a
Yeah,
okay.
just
All
a
right.
podcast. But
Gotcha.
it's very like auditorily pleasing. Like he'll
Mm-hmm.
talk about like he's like, yeah, so I was in a cafe in New York, and then you start hearing like city sounds and like people walking by, and it's like distant like car horns in the back, and it's like you feel like you're there. It's like
Mm.
very very engaging. You know, for people who have like a hard time like focusing on stuff. Like
I'll put that on my list of things to
you don't have
yeah.
to. I almost never listen to things people tell me to listen to. I feel kind of bad. People are like, you have to listen to this, and I'm like, oh yeah, I will, and then it's out the window.
Some I have like been trying to step out of like my comfortable zone and like trying new stuff out. Not to say that I will, but I kind of keep like a mental calendar. Um, I mean, can I ask like a dumb question?
No,
Like, how did, okay.
I said no. Forget it.
No dumb questions. Okay, I'll clip this out. Okay, but
No, because
how
there are no dumb questions, Brian.
how did the Cold War end? I can't remember.
I think it just, I don't know. I think it just ended. I think Russia just
People
collapsed.
people just weren't scared of communism. I don't know, and
Well,
like
the USSR fell at one point,
yeah.
and I think the USSR just ran out of money, and they just collapsed. Like they had like a workers' revolt and stuff, and then I think that was just like, okay, I guess we're good now.
Hmm.
So I'm not sure though. I'm not a history buff or major at all. Don't do I don't like history classes.
Mm. The whole like Cold War scene, I don't like. It's very confusing to me, and like people ask me a lot about like Vietnam because I'm Vietnamese, like about how like Vietnam like involvement with like communism and everything, and I was like, I don't know. The whole it's like like damn, it must have been hard for you, man. I was like, no, I grew up here.
That's like did you ever watch like Parks and Rec or anything?
Not I've seen like clips.
Do you know like Aziz Ansari?
Yeah.
Like that's his like a joke that happens in Parks and Rec, and he does it in his stand up all the time. When people are like, "Oh man, so like where are you from?" And he's like, "South Carolina," and they're like, "Okay, well like where are your parents from?" And he goes, "South Carolina." And it's like, well, where are their parents from? And they're like, also South Carolina. Like, as people just think that they like, he's Indian, so he came from India.
It's funny, yeah. Artist and
I mean,
I were
it's
at.
a little racist, but
It is, yeah. Like that's kind of like the thing I was thinking. Like, am I racist? Am I like racist for not going to the right priest? No, but
I don't think that's true.
Artist and I, what is it? We were, you know how like UMass does like those like cultural food nights at like the
Yeah.
dining halls. Like they had an Indian food night, I remember, and Artist and I went to Worcester, and they had a renowned Indian chef there, and and Artist and I went there like to see him, and it's like this white dude from California. It's like his name's Todd or something, and we're like, I don't know. We just found the situation funny because we're I don't know why our perceptions we were expecting like someone come all the way from India or something to make this delicious food for us, and it's like
No, it's the thing in America, man. It's just like always a white dude. You get this like Chinese historical like expert, and it's just some like white dude or white woman. And it's like, oh, okay, makes sense. Like, it's like it's always just like, oh, you're white, okay.
Mm-hmm. It's like, do we want it? Like, do you want it to be like the way it
I mean,
is?
it shouldn't be a deciding factor, but it's like it is kind of annoying that it's like no matter what it is, it's like always like this cultural expert, and then it's just some white person, and it's like you'd think like one of these people would be the term
Uh-huh.
cultural expert in.
I think we just feel like there's something missing. Like maybe if we got like you and like the guy who
Yeah.
like lived through said history or something. I don't know. Cause yeah,
But, well,
history.
it's like too. It's like I don't know if you've seen on like Twitter. And oh, I'm back. I'm back in the rave.
Oh man, that just made it worse.
Red shifting,
Yeah, it's okay.
falling into a black hole. Hang on. Let
Let,
me.
let me play the Interstellar theme. No, I
Oh,
won't.
all right. I guess I'm in green now. All right. Well, whatever. But what was I saying?
You're saying about what if
Oh, it was like I don't know if you saw like on Twitter and stuff, but like Gordon Ramsay put out a couple recipes that were like, it's like he was like, oh, this is my recipe for like this like culturally like special food or something, and it was like some Thailand dish, and it was just some guy in like Thailand. It's like this is not that.
oh
Like,
pad thai. I remember
oh,
that
it was
video.
yeah, pad thai, and the
Yeah.
dude in,
He was like pad thai is salt, sweet, and spicy or something. This is not that.
yeah, the dude's just like this is not pad thai.
Yeah.
That was so funny.
Yeah. He just used the reverse card on him.
Yeah, like
No.
yeah, like one of the most famous chefs in the world doesn't know how to fucking cook pad thai.
He's very much like an actor. Like so much of his
Yeah,
career is just acting and like less so like, oh, you baked potatoes. Interesting. Wow. I
yeah. Well, he
didn't
just
think I
like
could do
starts a
that.
show and then buys a restaurant. Like, well, the winner is gonna be the manager of this restaurant. So, and then
Yeah.
people go and get like a mediocre food dish for like $60,000, and like they're like, ah, a Gordon Ramsay specialty, a plain steak with a baked potato.
Yeah, I
It's
don't
like
know
$70.
I don't know if most people watch him for like him like roasting the restaurant owner or his employees, or is it just for like, oh, he made this dish I like, or
I think honestly for like me, like you watch like Hell's Kitchen or something just to hear him just like fucking scream at people.
yeah, I'm on that same boat with you. Yeah.
Well, they just like I don't know if you've like ever like seen like on Hell's Kitchen, right? They have like every couple of days they have like a big challenge and they have to like make dinner service that night, but like they don't show that like they do like a ton more challenges in between each episode. So your time in Hell's Kitchen, you are like drained constantly and you're stressed out. And so it's like, because you get these like professional chefs that are like cooking horribly. Like they're cooking like like they say scallops, right? Like that's the station that makes or breaks everyone. People who get like leave the kitchen 90% of the time they're on scallops and they're just not they can't do it. They
Hey,
cannot fry a scallop.
I think I'm getting my shows confused. Is Hell's Kitchen the one with like the like Gordon's trying to like improve their restaurant?
No, I think that's Kitchen Nightmare.
Oh, okay. No, you're right. Right, that's
I
right.
think Hell's Kitchen's the two teams and
Hell's
they they all stay in
Kitchen.
this like one
Okay,
house.
yeah, I know what you're talking
It's
about now.
it's kind of older. I haven't watched it in a long time, but
I
yeah,
know the one you're talking about
they're
though.
yeah
Mm.
they do like a million challenges between that, and so like you're doing dinner service and you're being screamed at, and you're probably like have vertigo. You're like confused. You have no idea what's going on, and you got this like British dude just like it's fucking raw, and you're like, "Ugh, stop, like I'd be like
Yeah.
freaking out the whole time.
Yeah, yeah, it's kind of infectious. I like sort of antagonize like people for being idiots, but in actuality, it's like no.
Yeah, it's probably impossible.
I'm pretty sure like this isn't about Hell's Kitchen, but it's about Kitchen Nightmares. Where I remember reading something where like the directors and the producers were actually trying to what is it, like engage the restaurant owners to like create drama or something.
Oh yeah.
Like I don't know like, exactly what words they were saying, but it was like
Oh yeah.
this is a show, you know, like it's you're not we're
Needs to
like
be interesting.
yeah. I don't know how exactly they were trying to spark drama, but like I don't think Gordon was helping.
Well, they just need it to be like they probably show up and they're like, pretend like this is your worst day. Just like let everything go, right? And that's when you get like people like microwaving a steak, and
Yeah,
Gordon's like, "What the fuck are you doing?
because people like
Stop
aren't
doing this."
because like people like aren't that like what's the word? I don't want to use the word stupid. Like they're not that
Like helpless.
yeah, they're not that helpless and like they're not that dramatic as well.
Yeah, like he shows up and are like an utterly lost cause. Like no one could salvage the thing they're doing, and it's
Right.
like then he turns all the way around. But it's like, they lower the bar to start so that they can
Uh-huh.
shoot up really hard.
Maybe like they really want the I don't know, the press or like the media from like the coverage for this thing because they're already in the red. And they were
Okay, I feel like I'm yellow now.
you are yellow. Look at that.
I don't know what's up with this camera, dude. I cannot figure it out. Is that better? I don't know. I think the
Oh,
light's just yellow behind me.
it's progressively getting like it's going through every shade right now.
Yeah. Well,
Maybe it's because like it's getting darker or something, or does that sound like a thing? Or
I'll turn this light off. Yeah, whatever.
when you turn it off, it looks like those like those confidential interviews and like the guys.
Oh
like,
yeah. Yeah.
like
Oh yeah. Oh, dum.
your voice is muffled.
Yeah. It's like I could not reveal my actual identity, but I am a witness to this crime. Yeah. Funny.
Good
I'm
impression.
hilarious, by the way, in case you haven't noticed yet. No, nothing. Nothing, not even nothing
I
even a little
laugh.
bit.
I have a knack for like laughing after the like after like the
After the
after yeah
usually
after
when you're supposed to laugh, but
yeah like after I was expected to laugh because I have like a late response.
I get you.
Yeah. Oh, I get it. It's like it's funny. People like say it's not funny to explain a joke, but I still find it funny when you explain the joke to me.
I like try to I make it a point to say a really dumb joke, and then I'll go through explaining it, and
Yeah,
everyone's
that
like,
I
"I
love
got
that.
it,
I
I
love
got
that.
it. It wasn't funny." And I'm like,
I'm
"No,
the,
no, no, but like he's the waiter." And they're like, "Yeah, we get it. Stop talking."
it was the butler.
It was the butler.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'd be the one. I'd be the one laughing in that crowd. You're not wearing your McGill hoodie. I had a
oh,
I
that thing
like
hasn't fit.
it doesn't fit.
Thing hasn't fit in years, man. I got
Oh,
you know how much like weight I've put on since then. It's freshman year. I got the freshman 15. I got the sophomore 30. I'm working on the junior 45. Like,
is that how it works?
I
Gotta stop that
was like
freshman 15.
160 freshman year. I'm like 200 now.
Sorry, what was
Like,
that? 160 to
so I was like 160 freshman year. I'm like 200 now. Like, we're moving up, not in a good
been
way.
you've been adding some chunks, some meat, you know. Some I don't know. Do you work out or whatever? You don't look that different to me, honestly.
I
Besides the
just
beard.
eat a lot of
Who
food.
who doesn't like food? I love food.
I'm like a big fan of food. Like like spaghetti. Like I think that I have like did you watch One Punch Man, right?
Yeah.
You know how they talk about like everyone has a limit to how strong they can get,
Mm-hmm.
but like the main character, like he managed to like turn off that switch so there's like no limit to how strong he could be. That's like me. Everyone has like a limit to how they can eat, but I've effectively eliminated my limit. So I could eat until my stomach explodes. Like
Like meatballs, spaghetti and meatballs, or
yeah, like that's like it for me. Like I have a lot of Italian blood in me, so
hmm.
my body gets, or like I could like lift a car after like a pound of pasta. Like I get, but for like 10 seconds and then I lose all of it.
You have to
So
take a nap.
yeah, I essentially am one punch man. I could do one punch and then I would die. So
It's like it's like the like vice versa. You punch, it's like a one hit.
yeah, no, I just get like I just am like bored. I'm like, oh, I guess I should eat now, and then I just get like tired. Like I'll just eat until I'm like exhausted, and I'm like, okay, that's good for breakfast. We'll come back for lunch and so on.
What's my guilty pleasure? I don't know. Spaghetti and meat. Spaghetti is very underrated. I do like it.
Especially you gotta, people don't make it right, man. You know, gotta
What
salt
do you
that
mean?
water.
Oh yeah.
That water, like that water should be cloudy. You know, some people just sprinkle. No, like I'm serious. That's like the al dente recipe. It's gotta be cloudy. You gotta see the salt, and then you gotta get that down. You gotta like make sure it's al dente. You know, and then yeah.
Do you ever time it right, or do you have to pull a hot noodle up and just be like,
I
all
usually
right?
do it pretty well. My parents bought like a stove, so I'm still trying to figure out like how that works. Like I have an apartment out in, and you know it's an apartment, so the stove is from World War One. And so like I'm pretty used to it's like high setting, it's low setting, and in between. But like my parents bought this like new stove. It's like a brand new stove, and its heat levels are way more dynamic than anything I'm ever used to. Like the lowest setting it's on, I could touch with my finger and it wouldn't hurt.
Hmm.
But like all the way hot, I could put it on the ceiling and it would feel like it's burning. Like it's the most buck wild shit I've ever seen. So I'm still trying to get used to
This
like,
is an electric stove or something.
and no, it's a gas stove,
Oh, okay.
straight up gas stove. But you turn it on high and the flame is like a campfire.
Huh.
Like I don't get it. I don't know why anyone would need that. And then its lowest setting is like you can't even see any fire.
Interesting.
It's just like warm. So
I'm not.
yeah,
Yeah.
I was trying to make rice the other day and it was just like such a nightmare. Because I'm used because it like when you see the thing, it's like you just put it on, you boil the water and then put the cover back on and put it on low heat with the rice in. But it's like it should be like simmering. And back in my apartment it is on low, but on this it like I think the water got cold on me. So I was like, shit, what do you do? And so I had to like salvage rice.
Eat crunchy rice. Al dente.
And it's just like don't eat rice anyway. So they could not help me. And I was just like, okay, I don't know how to fix this. So
Mm.
I dumped it out into a strainer and then I boiled water and then did it, but on like a higher heat and it like kind of worked. It was like a little soggy, but it's like whatever. It was like a little bit of rice.
Okay. It's a dial, right? Like,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. So but and then I looked it up after. Like they're like, well, low is deceptive because like the problem I had, like lows are different on different stoves, so it should be like a simmer, they said. So it's
Gotcha.
like that's what I went for.
Uh huh.
I got it down pretty good now.
Awesome. Do you
Rice
like
is hard
cooking?
for white people, so
What was that?
I said rice is hard for white people.
Dude,
It's a difficult task.
I mean, I can't. I have no say because I use a rice cooker because like rice is kind of a staple for me. So like, I'm not gonna boil like, I'm not gonna like steam rice every day. So
Yeah, that makes sense.
it's just so easy to get it out of the rice cooker.
Yeah, I mean, I probably should use a rice cooker, but I don't think we have it actually.
Bet you can find them pretty cheap. Every family should have a rice cooker.
Yeah,
You don't have to, you don't have to just use
my
it
girlfriend
for
has
rice.
one, but it's like a crock pot also, so you can kind of do it for both, but there's like a rice cooker setting,
Ah,
and she doesn't even eat rice, so it's like whatever. I don't get how people don't eat rice. I had rice for the first time at UMass, and I'm like, this is awesome. Why don't people eat this more?
Yeah. I don't get it either.
It's like the perfect way to like a carb to any meal.
Hmm.
Rice goes with every meal.
It does.
You just put whatever sauce you cooked your meal with into the rice, and then it's just like perfectly matched.
I I've never. I mean, I've had like rice with like Asian cuisine. Like what do you have in mind when you eat rice? Because honestly, when it comes to white people eating rice, I have no idea what you eat rice with.
So I
Like chicken nuggets.
yeah
Uh,
I baked some dino chicken nuggets, and then I make a couple things with rice. It's really kind of the same thing. I just like cut up some pork into like small pieces and then just fry it, and then I'll make some rice on the side, and then when the pork is done, I usually try to time it right so the rice is done right as the pork's done, and then I just like lower the heat a lot so I don't burn the rice, and then I just dump the rice in and then just fucking douse it with some soy sauce. That's usually pretty much it. I obviously I put some like butter and garlic in the pan first, and then I put some ginger in there too a lot.
nice.
I'll just throw the rice on top and just soy sauce and mix it up so it's like all nice and hot, and
You know that
it's
doesn't
like
what doesn't sound too different from what I cook. We're not that
that's like
different.
my favorite meal. If I want
Mm,
to do like a vegetable, I'll throw some broccoli in there too, and like once the pork's got like pretty like whited on all the sides, then I'll throw the broccoli in too,
hmm.
and then I'll put some more butter in there sometimes if the pan's too dry, and then I'll just do the same thing. I'll just lower the rice on top with some soy sauce.
Mm.
But yeah, it's a pretty
Nothing
good
too
one.
crazy. Yeah.
What's good? I got my parents upstairs. They're like, you know, like basic white people food kings. So I'm trying to expand it a little bit.
What do your oh, okay. What do your parents eat? Like
Um, they like my mom's a very good cook. My dad's a good cook too, but they just do a lot of like the same things. Like we'll
okay.
have like chicken one night, and then we'll do like something with some pasta. It's just like a little repetitive, and especially now, like, you know, I think they're both getting up to like 60 and stuff. And like I'm like the last kid. So they're kind of done with the whole like cooking meals every night thing. So we get, you know, they're like, hey, we're gonna order this out tonight. You know,
Mm,
it's like I'd rather not eat out every night, but it's kind of whatever.
mm,
My mom's like super sick too, or not super sick, but she's sick enough where she doesn't want to cook. So
mm-hmm,
bad lately, but
mm. My yeah, my I think I don't know about Asian dads, but like Asian moms are like kind of like at the top of the totem pole in terms of cooking in the house. Like my mom's, I don't know, like 50 something. I don't know. Who knows her parents' age anymore? But like she like cooks a storm every night, and uh, like it's more of I mainly cook for myself too. Like just try to like play around with different things. But you mentioned like your like girlfriend uses like a rice cooker crock pot or something. I think my mom has like that same thing. But like I don't know, my mom she buys a lot of different like cooking utensils and like she never ends up using them. Like there's so many features in buns. Like, oh, this one cooks rice.
yeah,
And it's like we have a rice cooker though. It's like, but it can cook rice too though. It's like we don't need that option.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I guess that's true. I guess if you're just lazy, you want to put it away,
Right.
or it just stays out or something. But
I'm thinking about getting my dad an espresso machine for Christmas, but like they're pretty pricey and it's like a decently priced one I found. Like you kind of have to do it yourself. Like you have to push the buttons and like point the nozzles and stuff, as opposed to like one bun and it makes your espresso like $1,000. Like no, I'm trying to I hope to teach him how to use it, but he's too stubborn to like. It's like no, it's like there's got to be all these features and it's got to be simple. It's like no.
yeah, no, I feel that. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know where that thought was going. It came and went.
That is the beauty of this podcast thingy.
I don't.
Something
I'm
comes
like
and something goes. There's
I've
silences.
I've had like such a hard time like in like online environments like talking. I like lose any fragment of any social literacy. Just
Right.
gone. I lose it. I don't know how to talk to people.
No, I get that. I like that's part of why I kind of record it. Like I don't need to, but some people I talk to, like it's they kind of treat it like I'm like the segue between like I've had conversations where people are driving and they're like talking to me like on like like they're FaceTiming me, but they're driving and it's like no, I'm like the intermission. I'm not the main show, you know.
I
Or
gotcha.
I don't know, like
Because
someone.
you're in every episode.
Oh no, not for the podcast. Just like conversations in general. That like I like try to catch up with someone and like I don't know, they're like in the bathroom or something, and it's like hold up 1 second.
Well, I drink like a lot of water all day, so I pee every like 35 minutes or so.
Oh, so you've
So
been holding it in. You've been champing
I
it out.
actually I haven't been drinking a lot today, so I'm actually pretty good. But I if when I have to go, I will like make it very clear.
Okay, thank
But
you.
a lot of times like I'll be on the phone with someone and I'm like, hey, keep talking, I have to pee, and I'll just like mute them and I'll just like be
Uh-huh.
peeing and we'll just talking.
That's like Zoom
But then
classes for me.
but I almost time it differently though, because sometimes I say that and they're like, okay, um, and they just like lose any topic they're on to talk about. Just silent, and I'm like, come on, man, like something. And like obviously I'm muted, so they can't hear anything, but
Uh-huh.
it makes it a little weird, you know. I'm like holding my dick, and then someone's talking to me on the phone, like whispering in my ear. It's like it's a weird, you know,
Yeah, no,
it's a
entirely.
weird environment.
Yeah.
That's what it is. That's what a phone call is.
The online setting is very strange. I wish I could I don't know. I feel like a good gauge for like a good relationship with someone is when they're like unfazed by something like that. And it's like, hold on, I'm grabbing my dick right now. It's like, okay. So anyways,
Yeah. Well, it's not
I
like
was
they're
getting
weirded
off.
out. It's just that like I'm like keep talking. I'm putting you on mute, or I'm putting myself on mute because I'm going to the bathroom, and they're like,
Their train of thoughts just like
yeah. Now they're like they're under pressure the whole time, and they like all of a sudden can't, and like that's like the
mm,
which I get, because like that happens to me sometimes, and I'm like I wasn't talking to begin with, so I don't have anything to talk about.
mm-hmm,
I'll just talk about like a game I was playing or something.
mm.
Oof. I have like mild COVID symptoms too, and this is like tough. Oh, this yeah, you know, this virus is pretty weird, pretty real, man.
We're doing a bit right now.
No, I'm just like I have
So
I'm
you're
like
here at UHS. What kind do you need did you need a sick note or something?
I'm here at UHS. I have super AIDS now on top of my COVID.
Oh wow. Do you have your insurance card with you?
I do actually. I have it with me at all times.
Oh wow.
It's in my
Well,
wallet, and my wallet's over there. I have my social security card. Here it is. Camera. Go to
please
YouTube.
please take a seat. Doctor will be with you shortly.
No, I have my insurance card on me, I think. I usually do. I don't know why I wouldn't, but
What?
you asked me if I have my insurance card. I do.
On you?
Doesn't everyone like have it with them?
I like I like grew up not carrying a lot of stuff on me like all the time. Like I didn't have a phone for the longest time. I never brought my wallet with me because it just didn't feel like I wanted to run all the time. Like I always wear shorts like with loose pockets. And I'm
Yeah.
like, who's running around? I'm like a kid, who's running around with like a wallet with loose shorts and
Hmm.
I don't know.
No, I have like my backpack and I keep like everything in my backpack. So I'll have like in like the back pocket, like I'll have like my like school stuff, but then I have like an emergency rain jacket and like my glasses case with the glasses cleaner, and I have like this and that and like a million different things. And like there was one point where I think if someone stole my backpack, I would have to cancel everything in my life. At one
What?
point I had like my license, insurance card, social security card, passport, like and a million other things, the glasses case again. Like I had all these things in my backpack, and it was like if I lose this backpack, my life's over.
Hmm.
I've lost everything that I would ever need for any like serious situation.
That's part of my fear because I forget things very easily, like my backpack, like something as big as that I wouldn't carry around safe stuff. But then again, I've carried
I'm
around more important things.
Yeah, I'm good with like big things like my backpack, but like I think I've lost like a double digit number of water bottles in my life. Like reusable water bottles I've just lost.
Oh,
Because it's just
this
like I
this
leave
might
it
be
somewhere.
yours.
Dude, I swear to God, man, I like I'll like I a couple times I got back to my dorm and I couldn't find my water bottle, and it's like I was in like four classes today and like went to like two different dining commons. So it could be literally anywhere. Oh, although I did leave my backpack at Worcester one time. I left
The
it at
most sketch
Worcester, and it
dining
was just
hall.
the weirdest thing of like I ran back to Worcester because I went. It was like a late night, but we left at like midnight. I got to Worcester at like 8 after a class, and I was there for like 4 hours with people.
Hmm.
And we left at midnight, and I like sprinted back, and it was just like closed. I was like, fuck. And then the next day I showed up, and I'm like, I left my backpack, and this woman brought like she went to like the back room. I was still like in like the main area, and she's just like, what is in the pockets? And I'm like, oh, a water bottle and an umbrella. And she like came back, which is like, is this yours? And I was like, yes. And
Nice.
she's like, can you prove it? And I opened it up and took my fucking passport out and was like, this is me. And she was just like, why is that in your backpack? I was like, I don't know. So she was pretty mad at me, but it's like whatever, you're not my mom. So
I feel like we're winding down. What do you think?
yeah, it could be.
Cool.
We could keep going. We do whatever we want.
Sometimes
I
I
guess you can do
like.
whatever you want. It's your podcast.
It doesn't matter to me. I just like. I like talking to people, and I feel like I'm getting worse at talking to people as I isolate myself. So,
I think
and I
everyone
also,
is.
yeah, I also like checking in with people. Yeah.
Yeah. And I call my friend. We have our I think we call it our weekly our what is it? We call it our like bi-weekly annual calls or something, because we call sometimes like once a year and sometimes once a week, and it's like somewhat in between sometimes, and it's pretty funny. A lot of times he'll call me, but it's a bad time, and so I'm like, I'll call you back later, and then I call him in like a month or two, and he's
Yeah.
like, hey, what's up? And we just pick up.
Right.
He
Those are
goes to
some of the best
school in
friendships.
yeah, he grew up in my town and went to high school together and stuff, but he goes to like Michigan State or something, or Michigan University, which one, either one. But so I don't see him as much during the school year and stuff, but
Mm.
it's whatever.
I think
He
yeah, I
went
have
to he went to
yeah.
that school specifically for this like astrology, or he's saying astrology astronomy program, but then he switches major like first semester, so it's like I was like, why'd you go there?
Same guy, different major. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think
but
I have
what were
I
we gonna
think
say? I kind of cut you off.
I don't know, I was just
Right
I
at the
think
very beginning.
I think I just have the same relationship with some people where like we just pick up where we left off after like 5 years in hiatus. Yeah, I was how are you? How was the wedding? Yeah. I don't know why I do this, but like before like an episode I have like a knack for like imagining scenes that would happen. Like, what if he said a certain thing? Then I'd be prepared for like
Did you
what he
have
had.
some like fantasies that I would like confess my love to you or something? I get it. I mean, look at me, I'm gorgeous.
Hey,
So
let's pretend he did say that. What would I say?
what were your do you remember any of them?
um, I thought of like a couple at while I was at church actually, because like while like the priest is talking, I'm like, oh, what would be some stuff Jake would say to me?
What things do you think I would say?
I don't want to sound sneaky, but like, I mentioned like, where's your McGill hoodie? Because I was like, huh, what if he brought up McGill? And I was like, okay, so what can I work with? How can I work with that? McGill, very smart school.
Also,
Wearing
I screwed you up right in the beginning then, being like I can't fit into that anymore. And you're like, yeah,
no. Like I prefer that conversations run like not according to. I don't even have a plan. I don't have a plan, but I prefer when conversations don't go the way I want them to, because like
mm-hmm,
it's just more fun. But like I do have a knack for like, what if this happened? What would I say in this situation?
I get you.
And I it's like
I've been to Miguel a couple of times.
I spell out an entire like scenario where we just like bounce off, and I'm like, this would never happen in real life,
I
unless.
mean, yeah, I could. I've been to Canada a bunch of times to see my current girlfriend.
Mhm.
She graduated though, so no more of those 8 hour bus ride trips up to fucking Montreal ever again. Hopefully.
Mm.
Oh god, those things were so bad, man. They're just they're just so long and like it was so often that this like the bus would just sell out. So there you would just be sitting next to someone like every time and like uh the seats were just not comfortable at all. You'd be in there for so long. You know, because the bus is from Boston to Montreal, so you're on the whole. But I think is better because it was always Greyhound, and Greyhound is late 90% of the time. So a
Mm.
lot of times people are like waiting outside of like an airport, like at the Burlington Airport in Vermont or something like that for like hours because this bus ride has just been delayed like 4 hours. So every every sequential stop is also delayed by 4 hours. So it's just like I feel bad for them, man, but like,
Mm.
you know, sometimes you're just trying to sleep and you finally fall asleep and then someone's waking you up because you have the one last open seat on the bus and you have to move all your stuff and you're like, and then
Oh.
you try to go back to sleep, but like the largest man in the existence of the universe just sat down next to you. And it's just like, you're sitting there like that, like literally you're sitting there like this. And it's like, I'm not even being like fat phobic or anything, but it's like, you should buy 2 seats.
Uh-huh.
Like I am not occupying this seat anymore. Like, you know,
Mm. I
it's like
wonder.
I get it,
Yeah.
but I just got unlucky or something. But
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you see it, but my beard comes to this like point right here.
It does.
I don't
It's got a
understand
little. It's
why.
given a satanic vibe. No, I'm kidding.
I know I like it. It comes to this one point. I try to like
If you like shaved off the sides, you'd have a pretty awesome goatee as well. Like,
you know a pretty solid goatee. Although I don't like the goatee look
mm-hmm.
because it falls into like the white dad look, and I'm trying to avoid that for as long as I can. You know,
You have a white complex.
an
Any-
anti-white complex. Try my hardest to be anything but white.
Mom, I'm tired of spaghetti and meatballs. I want
Want
food.
some fucking pad thai?
I want something that tastes Asian or cultural. I don't know. I'm,
Yeah,
Italian food's pretty awesome too, though.
it's pretty solid.
Mm-hmm.
Never dash it. Not to bring up Canada, but they have they have very good food in Canada. Like I went to a couple like I do like American food. Like I love like barbecue and like Southern style food. Like I really dig that. And they have a couple of like like southern places up in Canada, and they were like they were like they changed my perspective. Like I became a new person. I was like reborn. They were
Wait,
so good.
so you're saying they have southern type food up there that's similar to our southern food?
That's like better.
That's
Just
funny.
like the like I had like I got this like I don't say platter. It was just like one meal, and they gave you a couple different things. And I had like there was some like pulled pork, and there was some like steak tips sort of stuff. There was like fries and stuff too, and like the meat quality was and like even like when you go to the grocery store and you get like because I've been up there for a couple of weeks with Alexa where she has to buy groceries and stuff, and like the produce quality is just like way higher than it is here. Like food tastes so much fresher up there, and I don't know why, but it's just like and then I come back here and it's just like
Mm.
it's not horrible, but it definitely isn't what it is up in Montreal and stuff.
You've probably ventured more into other cuisine than me. Like honestly,
Probably not. I'm a very picky eater.
like I can say like all as I can say as much like as I want about like Asian cuisine, but like that's because that's all I really eat. Like that's growing up in it, like that's kind of what my mom always cooks, like lots of Vietnamese food. So that's all I can really talk about. But like that's I don't know. I don't really know much. I've never really tried southern cuisine or like I mean there's like generic places around here. I
I
don't
mean,
know.
it's just like take whatever piece of meat you want, man. Cook it for like 6 hours on like 3 degrees, and then just dump some
Mm,
barbecue sauce on it.
that
Like
doesn't
you can
sound too
make like
bad.
really good pulled pork. Just get like a pork roast or something, and just like literally just like get like a big pork roast and get like 8 bottles of barbecue sauce and just put it in a pan or put it like if you have like a crock pot or something, throw it in that crock pot and like just dump buckets of fucking barbecue sauce on it till it's covered and then just put it on low heat for like 8 hours. And like by the end of it, like it always keep the fat side down. That's what I've been told because then it'll come up and stuff. But
Yeah.
then at the end, like cook it for like 4 to 8 hours, anywhere in between, whenever you want, and then just take 2 forks and just go like this on the meat, and it'll literally just fall apart.
Mm.
Like it is just like, and then it's just like that's pulled pork, man. That's literally all it is, and it'll taste like incredible. Throw some salt on there or something if you want, but
If the barbecue sauce wasn't enough.
yeah, no, that's just like that's literally all you need. That like, a good like steak. I don't love steak, but you know, I think get a good steak at a good restaurant. It's good, but
Mm.
yeah,
I
I
feel
never was never the hugest fan of it, and especially too just like how bad like it is for like environmental wise. Just like cow farming is really bad. So
hmm
I try to avoid red meat when I can, but
high end restaurants are probably some of the only places you can get like a decent steak. Because like when you go to like I don't know a cheesecake factory, they're gonna hand you they're gonna hand you a hockey puck
yeah.
regardless or something.
The cheesecake factories around me are actually pretty good.
Okay.
They're not horrible, but like again, like I would never order a steak at a restaurant unless it was like a really nice restaurant. Then it's like worth it, but it's always just gonna be like you can go to like Ruby Tuesdays and pay $25 for a steak that probably came out of a plastic. It's like it's not.
Right.
It's probably like vacuum sealed, like and like some like I don't know. Like you're just not gonna get something good unless you go to
hmm
like a really good restaurant.
I kind of cook all my steaks for myself. Omaha is very much a steak state, so
Yeah.
like I like steak, but I don't like eating it a ton because like I don't know about you, but it gives me headaches. Like steak like hurts my head, and my brother says the same things. Like, hey, do you get a headache after a steak? And it's like, yeah. So,
I've never
but
heard that
my
before.
yeah, but I mainly cook steak for my family. But steak's not bad.
Yeah. I hear like people get like the meat sweats.
I
I've
don't
heard
know.
that before.
I could never relate to that. Just sweating
Yeah,
from meat.
I've never heard of headaches. That's kind of weird.
Yeah.
I think it just comes down to like red meat is just not very good for you.
Could be.
Like it's just really bad for like your part and stuff.
Mm.
But it might just be bad blood flow or something. I don't know.
Could be genes. I know my dad like he eats so much rice, like a ridiculous amount of rice to the point like an average person should be worried about like how much rice they're eating. But like honestly, like it doesn't seem he's pretty. I wouldn't say he's slim, but he's pretty slim. I'd say yeah, like pretty lean. But he eats like
Yeah.
ridiculous amount of carbs, and it. I guess it's just like the Asian genes are developed for eating rice. Like I don't know.
Yeah. If your metabolism's good enough, then go for it.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if that's the
But
same thing for like being Italian in pasta or like they're.
nah, man, we say like Doolins are the people that like survive the winters, man. You eat a pound of food, you get a pound of fat. Like the food I eat stays.
Oh.
That's why we survived the winter, man. We got that
Uh-huh.
layer on us when the food shortage is out. We got it all saved. But yeah, I have the I would always like hear people, they're like, I eat so much and I'm so skinny, and it's just like shut up. It's like, go fuck yourself. It's like I can never relate. I do pretty well. I'm like still somewhat thin, but yeah, I see
You look pretty
my
good.
yeah, my parents are always just like, I'm your future. And I'm like, stop talking about that. I don't want to hear that.
Oh man, that's probably what I've never heard that. My parents have never said that to me before. I can imagine that must be like for
Yeah, it's
almost.
just like I don't want to know that. Like I'm okay forgetting. Like I know. You don't have to remind me.
Usually, people who say that they don't mean it in like a positive connotation. It's like, hey, you
No,
see
they mean it
this?
in a
Let's see
very
what you're
negative
looking.
way. Yeah, they're like, I think I'm overweight. You are going to be overweight if you don't.
Bodies change.
When I was in my apartment, I ate very well. I come here and I eat like horribly because my mom like buys like 8 bags of chips and like a pound of candy, and then every night I get high and I'm like walking. I go to the bathroom and I can see the pantry and I can see all this food and I'm just like, it's like I like when I'm like right now I'm like, well, I can't eat any of that. Like I'm totally fine. I can walk by it, but then I get high and I'm like, just for tonight, I start to already make compromises with myself, and it's like, come on, man, stay strong. But
Yeah.
never how it goes.
Are you coming back to campus like at some point?
Yeah, if I wasn't sick with COVID, I would be there probably now, honestly.
Oh,
The
you're coming
whole
back for the spring.
yeah. So like the apartment's just there. Like we don't sublease or anything. And so like I'm Sarah's my roommate. I don't know if you know that,
No,
but
that's cool.
yeah, we have 2 bedrooms, so she's my roommate, and she went back after Thanksgiving. She went back for finals, and I just stayed here. And then she's back at home right now, I think. Yeah, she's home right now.
You
And I
got an
was gonna go
apartment
up.
just for the spring?
No, we had it this past semester too.
Oh, okay. But you just
So
never touched it.
no, I went there.
Oh, okay.
Me and Sarah are both there. But then for
Oh, you
Thanksgiving,
came back for winter break and stuff.
yeah, well, we went back for Thanksgiving,
Okay.
and then I stayed for finals, which she went back to the apartment to take her finals there, and then she came home again for Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
But I was gonna go up. I was gonna go up with Alexa probably and just kind of hang out there for a little while and just be able to cook my own food again, because like I was kind of worried because my mom has always cooked, and it's honestly not even like I'm lazy, I don't want to cook. It's more just been like she wants to control when dinner is and stuff, so she
Right.
cooks. But then and like horrible eating habits here, like eat way too much of like the wrong food. We eat at like 8:30 at night sometimes, and it's like I really don't like eating that late, and all that. But then I went on my own. And this whole semester I was eating like food that I made, and like I ate really well. I had vegetables every night. I did all that. I did all the right stuff. I ate at like 6:30 or 7 every night. It was perfect. And then I came back here and it's just like complete loss of autonomy when it comes to like eating.
I
And so I
relate to
was looking
that.
forward to going back up there for a little bit, especially with like Alexa and stuff, and just like being able to like cook all my own food and like being in my own space. But then it's just like, then my mom came home sick, and it's like, you have to quarantine, and I'm like, well, you don't have COVID, and then she tested positive, and it's like, fuck. And
Mm.
now I'm sick, so it's just
What's the situation? Do you have to get like test results to go back or something?
yeah, we were actually kind of fighting with that um
Okay.
today, because the thing is like we're trying to figure out when my mom's symptoms started, and she thinks they started like before like we think they did. And so the thing is like they wanted they wanted me and my dad to get tested, right? Because we didn't have symptoms. But now I'm sick. So if I test, if I go get tested right now, I'm like almost certainly gonna get like a positive hit, right? I'm almost certainly gonna have COVID. But then it's like I have to quarantine for 10 days after that, right? So it'll be the 21st tomorrow when I go get tested. So I'll have to quarantine till the 31st, like through Christmas.
Mm.
And my idea was like, well, why don't we just wait until none of us are sick and then I can go get tested? Because if you test positive, they don't want you to test again for like another 3 months,
Huh.
unless like certain conditions are met. Where like you get sick again, they want you to just like not be tested. So it's like I had the idea of like, well, why don't I just wait till I'm not sick and then I can get tested and then I definitely don't have it. And then if I get a negative, then we're good. But it's like I'm gonna test positive and then it's gonna be like the 31st before I can leave, and it's like
Right.
it's so bad.
Yeah, I can see how that would. It is kind of a gamble. Like, I mean, you said you don't like feel like super sick, but like, yeah, I can see where like that can go
Having
bad.
like some of like the fatigue and stuff, and like just some of like the just general like when you get the cold and you just like feel it like in here, just like
Yeah.
kind of sore and just like kind of like weak. It's just like that right now.
Mm-hmm.
So like,
I
in
see
a
the
couple of days I'll
concern.
be fine, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't have any like of like the bad like shortness of breath, coughing blood or anything like that. Like I don't have any of the bad symptoms, which is good. But so
Mm-hmm.
just kind of booling,
Gotcha.
hanging out. I honestly like, so my girlfriend bought me the PS5. I obviously Venmoed her the money for it, but she just dropped it off. But she was like almost more excited about it than I am, and so originally we were gonna open it together and we were gonna like play something, but obviously she can't be here because I'm quarantining, and so I was like, yeah, I'm gonna obviously wait for you to open. She's just like, you don't have to, and I'm like, no, no, I'm going to. And I'm sitting here and I keep glancing at it, and I'm like, the second this is over, I'm opening that thing and I'm setting it up and I'm playing something. Like I need to see it, man. you know,
Just get high. Just get high and just like just be like, well, if she said I could.
like
No.
the next gen, it's like grinding away on something.
Uh-huh.
But yeah,
Yeah. Sorry to hear that. I hope like you figure things out, but yeah,
yeah, I
that's a
mean,
tricky situation. Like I
yeah, it's
mean, with
whatever.
I agree with you. I'd probably just wait until you feel better.
Yeah, but my mom's like, I don't know. She called her doctor on like Friday, and her doctor told her some stuff, but like I don't think my mom told her all the information, because like my mom didn't tell her that I was having symptoms, but like I was at that time, and so the doctor was like, "You need to get tested in case you guys are negative." But it's like I'm sick, so it's like, what are the chances that I'm sick with something else other than COVID? You know, my mom tested positive, and then I got sick with like the same symptoms. So it's like,
Mm.
why would I get tested? It doesn't make any sense. But like, and it's not even like I'm not getting tested so I can keep going out and stuff. I'm still quarantining. I'm still
Mm-hmm.
staying inside and away from everyone while I'm sick. So I don't get it, but I'm only 21, so I can't be logical or anything, according to my parents. So, you know, I'm just a stupid kid. Well, but I know. But So how are your everyone's healthy in your end?
Yeah, we're doing pretty good. Omaha or Nebraska in general generally has like some of the lowest cases. Like we're not the lowest in the world, in the state, country, but we're pretty low. Um, but like everyone, like social distancing guidelines are still the same. Um, we're pretty like careful about stuff. No one's gotten sick yet, but
That's good. Yeah, my mom only got sick because she's a teacher, so she
okay.
has to like work in person and stuff.
That must
And
be
that's
hard
literally,
that she's a teacher and like she has to. What happens now? Like she has to like a substitute has to come in or like.
yeah, substitute's been working,
Oh, okay.
doing online stuff. I think I mean, like kind of something you might not think of, but like teachers teach the same class every year. So like my mom like has every material that she would need. She like updates a lot of stuff sometimes to like match like current events or the current year. Obviously she has not been doing much with the stuff given this year, but um to not just depress all of her students, but she likes to change things every year to tweak it a little bit, but she pretty much has every like assignment and every PowerPoint, everything planned out. So
Mm-hmm.
she just gives it to the sub.
Gotcha.
The sub comes in and does everything.
Mm.
Yeah, and then for like the way her school works is like all the students are broken up into two groups. So like group one comes in on Monday, Tuesday, and group two comes in Thursday, Friday, and then Wednesday everyone's online. And I'm not sure what they're doing for Wednesdays because I know in person you just have like a substitute, so, but I don't know what kids have to do on Wednesday. But because she teaches middle school, so like it's not like she sees the same kids every day. She like there's different periods of what she sees kids. So
Mm.
I don't know. I really know how it works, but you know,
Mm. This is a question. I don't even know if I'm asking like the right question, or like this is something that's bugs me a lot for the longest time. Like I'm the only reason I'm really out here is because like I have responsibilities to my parents. Like I've been working a lot because like my mom doesn't work anymore for. I mean, like I already said, she's very religious and like she's kind of been putting less time. I think she believes it's the end times right now, and like she's been focusing less on like providing and more so just like praying a lot. And like my brother has been he's been like in a different world, honestly. Just like he's been putting his attention on other stuff. And like my dad like doesn't work as much anymore, so I have to kind of fill in and stuff. um okay, I'm going on a tangent. So like
you're good.
where do you see yourself like when you're old, or like do you see yourself, what do you, okay, here's the question, do you see yourself like taking care of your parents when they're old? Like what happens, like I asked a lot of people this, like what do we do when our parents get old, because I don't know what to do. Like I have
Uh,
responsibility to them, but at the same time like they want me to like live my own life at some point, but I don't want to feel
yeah.
like when is my debt owed, you know?
I think that's like a different question for different people.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't think that there's obviously not one answer, but I don't know. For me, like my parents are pretty self-sufficient, I guess. They both work. They're both like relatively healthy. They don't really have problems they need like serious help with. And also too, like, we live pretty close to my dad's family lives all in like New Jersey, so it's not like a super hard trip for anyone. So if there was an issue where my mom needed help, like there are a lot of people around that can help. And my brother and sister too, they're both older, they both have money, they both can handle things and stuff like that. So that's not really something that I've ever concerned myself with super hard, especially because I'm just in college and I don't have anything. I'm in a mountain of debt because of school, but that's pretty much it.
Right.
That's all I have going for me. I don't have a degree, I don't have a job, but I mean, like, I want to be a teacher, and to anyone who wants to be a teacher, like Massachusetts is like the place to be. it's just like it has the best education based laws. It pays the best per district. It just it's just all in around just like the best place to be an educator at like just public school levels as well as collegiate. So I want to be around here. I'm gonna stay around here for sure. I likely will be hired in the or like I hope at least be hired in the place that my mom teaches now. So I'll probably know a lot of the people that she knows anyway. But um,
What's that word called again? Like when your parent goes to your parent, like legacy or something?
like nepotism.
No, no, it's like when you have like when your parent was like an alumni from the school. So like you,
Oh, and you get in off the alumni. That's
yeah,
yeah, legacy.
legacy. Oh, I'm trying to imagine like a legacy version. Like, oh, your mom teaches here.
I come in to replace her. They're like, oh, I'm so sad that Mrs. Doolin isn't here. And then I walk in and I'm like, I'm Mr. Doolin. They're like, are you her husband? I'm like, no, I'm her son, sicko. F. Fail. Fail one kid. Make it a first statement, you know. Make an example out of the first kid. It's like it's kind of like going to prison. You're supposed to like punch the biggest guy, right? Make an example of it, like no one should like fuck with you. So that's what I do.
turns
I
out,
walk in and be like, fail. They're like, that's the smartest kid.
yeah, exactly. I was gonna say, yeah, he's actually like the nicest. He's like, he just gave an F to the nicest kid in the school,
Yeah.
and then everyone hates you. I've had misunderstandings like that in school before, where like I said something offensive, or I thought it was offensive, but I didn't, because I was pretty socially awkward in high school, or like socially inept. I, what was it like? He there's a I had a middle school teacher with a ponytail, and when I got to high school, there was a teacher who also had a ponytail, and I called him by like the middle school teacher's name, and he knew that guy too. He was like he thought I was being like smart. I was like, no, I thought you looked like him. Great story, Brian.
That was good. I enjoyed it through and through.
But yeah,
9 out of 10.
I didn't
You
think you.
lost 1 point because I don't know what the point of that story was. But all overall, I was engaged.
You know, I think about some of the awkward things I've said in my past, and I just want to end it all. Like I thought I was being smooth when I was like telling some story, or like I don't know, telling a girl like, "Hey, you look like that girl I know." It's like, no,
No, do you want to know the perfect pickup line for any woman? Just go up,
what?
be like, hey babe, do you listen to the Joe Rogan podcast? It's blood.
Have you
It's
ever
like
gone on a complete meat diet before? Turns your shit completely pasty.
no, just bring up Joe Rogan, and pretty much any woman will just like be like, will you marry me? Like that works.
I did not know that formula worked.
Women love Joe Rogan, and women love who love Joe Rogan,
Hmm.
and that's a fact.
Well, clearly nothing I've been doing lately has been working, so I'm open to new ideas.
Just be yourself, Brian.
Yeah, I hate that. I hate when people say that. Just be yourself. No,
There's no
myself
trick,
sucks. There is a trick
but
though. I mean, there isn't a
but
trick.
everyone sucks.
Everyone does
Like every
suck.
person in the world sucks. You just gotta
Everyone's
find someone who doesn't think you suck.
right. Um, the thing is that like being myself, like who am I? You know, like I'm not one person all the time. I'm always switching around between different things. Like one day I'm into
And
jazz, and the next,
philosophical here.
yeah. Like no, for real though. Like I look back at myself, and I cannot relate to the kid back in high school who was like trying to like be cool or whatever. Like I had
Yeah, I
different
mean,
style back then.
obviously,
Yeah.
I can't either. I was a cringe fest in high school. Like I was like I invented the word cringe in high school just by being it. Like I get it,
So like be
but you know,
yourself. Like no, I do not want to. I mean, even now, I
yeah,
think like I'm a better version of like yesterday, and I'm thinking to myself like, no, I'm not that great yet. I'm like I suck at so many things.
I mean, you can keep putting yourself down like that, but it's not productive, you know? I think that everyone has good qualities. You just gave me like 100 good qualities just in this conversation.
Uh, I have
You're
good,
you're a
yeah,
caring person. You moved back to Nebraska to help take care of your parents. You're helping them through this hard time. That's already have just shown that you're above average in terms of like caring and just being a generally good person. You could just tell
yeah.
them like,
I
no,
don't
fuck
know,
off.
like yeah,
I'm
if
gonna
that if
live
that
out in
was if
Amherst
that
and
was
that's
my
all I'm
whole
gonna do.
character, if that was my whole character, then yeah, like be yourself. But there's so many other there's good and bads to everyone. How about that?
Yeah,
And we
that's
kind of
true.
try to shed the bad parts little by little. But
I don't embrace it.
I
I
guess so. Bad, good and better are just
some people are
words.
like, Jake, you have a gambling addiction, and it's like
Jake, you're hurting me. Ow.
Jake, stop attacking people randomly. Like it's not random. This guy looked at me. Yeah, so I don't know. I think that you don't give yourself enough credit.
I oscillate a lot. I go between like, oh, you suck. You did that thing you did back then, that really embarrassing moment. Like, just end it
I
all.
think everyone does that though. That's always like a hey, remember that cringy thing you did in high school? And it's like, yeah, I do.
It's
Like
becoming more and
so
more
I have a
apparent,
million
though.
of those, dude.
Uh-huh.
I think about those all the time. I'm just like, oh man. Like I think a lot about to like I think back a lot to like shit I did like freshman year and just being like, yeah, these people didn't like me because of this thing that they saw me do. Or something like dumb of like I was like I did a lot of PDA with my like current girlfriend at the time.
What's
Like
PDA?
back then. Public displays of affection.
Like
Just
holding
like we were just
hands
like
and yeah.
the dumb ninth graders who were like all over each other in the in the hallway. And it's like I think back to that and I'm like and it hurts. It hurts like my spine starts twisting. It's like so bad. And it's like I bet people fucking hated me in high school because of that. Like because I hated kids in high school who did that. So it's like I know for sure that they did.
Mm.
So yeah. But yeah.
Uh, sound. I have nothing else profound to say.
Yeah,
Not that I had anything profound to begin with, but
you did. You had a lot of profound things.
okay, Jake. I'm not gonna do a closing. I don't do outros. Okay. I
That's
just.
fine.
But thanks for doing this though.
Yeah, thanks for having me on.
Yeah, I didn't really need to record this, but like I don't know which ones need to be recorded though. That's the thing. Like some of
Yeah.
them are like I don't know, just like go on random tangents, and some of them are just like I don't know. I just want to get to know you better, or I don't know.
I get
But
it.
thanks, Jake.
What'd you say?
Thanks, Jake.
Yeah, thanks, Brian.
Um, so I'm just gonna hit that end button, the end
All
call
right.
button.
Subscribe to Brian Needs a Friend. Is that the channel?
Yeah, I don't like the name. I don't think I even need a name for this thing. I just like
Subscribe to this YouTube channel for quality more podcast interview things in the future. And hit
don't
and hit that bell.
don't forget to say thanks to our sponsor, Gap,
Yeah, Pag.
Pag,
Pag.
the off-brand of Gap.
End it.
Okay.
End the recording.
Wait. I don't know. Do I have anything else to say? No, I
I
don't
had
have
it set
it.
up. I had it totally set up, and now you totally blew it.
Okay, fine. I'll do a little clipping at the end. I'll pretend this never existed. I
No,
can.
there's no way to edit videos. So
Really? There's no way to edit videos?
no, it's impossible.
Oh no.
It's like film. They can't be. You have to like manually open your computer and cut the film and
Cut the
tape it
tape out?
together.
Oh no.
Yeah, you gotta cut the tape out.
Okay. But I mean, yeah, I don't mind. Like, I'd love to check in the future, but like, there's
Yeah,
no rush. Obviously, like I'm I'm free whenever, honestly. Like I'm just doing things around the house for school, whatever.
Yeah, well, it looks
Uh,
like we're gonna be in quarantine for another like 8 months anyway, so I'll
yeah,
see.
but like I don't know. I always I like talking with people, but at the same time, I feel like people. I don't know this for a fact, but I just feel like quarantine's kind of made people like more like what's the word? Paranoid. Like, oh, maybe like kind of like the online setting is like, oh, this guy hasn't texted me, or so clearly he doesn't want to talk to me or something. Like, I kind of want to
Yeah,
make it.
I have a really hard time because I feel like I kind of I felt really bad when I canceled on you earlier because I'm like
No,
I
no, no,
really
don't
hope he
worry, don't
doesn't
worry.
think I'm blowing him off and shit. Like
No, no,
I do want
I,
to say
yeah, I've like, I've built up the nerves of steel, or rather, maybe I'm just desensitized to that whole like paranoia stuff now at this point. Like, I don't, it doesn't really
Mhm.
phase me anymore because you could be doing anything. It doesn't really, it's not relevant to me. Um, but like, I'm not hurt at all. Just saying. Yeah,
Okay.
but
Yeah,
yeah,
no, yeah, that I hope
not that I cared
that was
about
my
your
goal.
feelings.
Yeah, well, I don't actually give a shit about you. It's the people who that watch this to think that I care. Yeah, no, maybe just
But
I mean,
yeah,
this
no,
was good. I liked this. This was good.
I
I enjoyed it. It's the first thing I've done in the last like 4 weeks. So, you know,
also good
it's great.
feedback. Yeah,
Yeah, like
I'm still trying to
me
get
too.
better at this whole talking thing. You know,
You're doing good. I think there's a lot of dead air in
dead
this
air.
episode. Yeah, just
Okay.
a lot of just like silence,
Uh,
which I think is unavoidable. And honestly, like I think the podcast I listen to just edited out. I think it's just
don't
like
watch.
it,
Okay, okay. Do yourself a service and don't watch these episodes. How about that? And I hear me out. Hear me out.
oh no, no,
I
no.
don't make
I
content.
am not gonna watch this.
I don't make content. I don't make content. Okay, I'm not a content creator.
No,
I
like
just want to get better at talking to people,
oh
and
no, no,
I
no.
need like like a thing, a stick to like get people to talk to me because people don't
Yeah.
want to talk to me sometimes.
No, no, no. I totally get that. And like I like you can obviously post this. I assume that you would post this. So, but I have no intention of watching this. I will never
Okay,
watch this episode
great,
ever.
great, and great,
Um,
perfect.
but yeah, I think there's a lot of dead air. Maybe that could be solved. I don't know. You've done episodes with like more than one person, right?
I think my next one's going to be with, for the first time, with four people, including myself. So that's going to be interesting.
Yeah, I think just adding more people would just help that because those times where it was silent, I know that you were trying to say something and I was trying to think of something too, and we are both just like our brains were like on fire. I was just like anything, and I just couldn't think of anything.
Honestly, like yeah, yeah, exactly. I don't. I when I'm talking with someone, usually well, not usually. Sometimes like I feel like the mood's kind of different with different people. Like I don't want to say a name, but like I had this person on, and it felt like they didn't. I once I get the vibe that they don't want to be on, like it kills my enthusiasm. And then
Yeah,
like we're on different wavelengths at this point, and like my momentum's completely gone. And I'm not exactly saying for this episode. I just like for this one, I just didn't really know what to say, honestly.
yeah.
Like
I had a hard time thinking of things to say.
because
I
like
just
it
haven't talked to
because like
anyone
we're
in
being,
forever.
also it feels because like the moment you know you're being recorded, it feels like you're like you're judging yourself, and now you have to figure out something to say,
Yeah,
and like it just throws me off completely. So like that's why I'm still debating, like, can I just talk to people? But some people don't like phone calls, actually. Some people actually don't like video calls. Like I've talked to people and they're like, oh, I just don't like them. I'm like, okay, that's fine. Like, and I said to them, oh, okay, how about you like an interview, like a Q&A thingy? And they're like, wow, that sounds really exciting. And it's like, okay, I'm getting mixed signals. Like, what do people like? And I don't
it's
know.
well, I think just one thing of just that like I think everyone deep down is a little selfish, and like I think to every person, interesting thing to everyone is themselves
Mm.
when you really get down to it. And so it's like an interview where someone just asking you questions and I talk about myself, like that's a dream. That's awesome. I love talking about myself because I'm like the best, right? I love everything that I do because I do them, you know? And so I think like that might be part of it, but also too just like a video call might just sound like too like vague.
Hmm.
Like, I like talking on the phone. I talk to people on the phone all the time, but I know a lot of people that like you'll call them and they'll like text you like they'll like deny your call and they'll be like,
Exactly.
what's up? And it's like, can you talk to me on the phone because I don't want to type all this out? And they're like, no. And it's
Right.
like, okay, you know, you're like
Texting
talking about
is
this whole
gross.
thing. I'm just like explaining this whole backstory that you have to do to ask this question.
Hmm.
But
It's a gross
yeah.
scene. Yeah.
I just have a hard time on video calls because I feel like I haven't talked to someone in person in a very long time, and I've like you like see their body language so much more too. Because when you're in person, you can see when someone's about to start talking because they will move in a way of such. But like in a video call, there's too many places to look, and so there's no indication. And I feel like whenever you're in a big video call with like more than like 5 people, it's like whenever I go to start talking, someone else does at the exact same time. Like no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
I'll never start talking and just be like just talking. It's like someone else starts talking to. And it's because there's no I can't see like because when someone starts talking, they like lean in or something or they do something and you're like, oh, they're gonna start talking. Like even just like subconsciously. But there's none of that here, you know. It's like so it
It's
feels
a
so
2D
like
screen.
yeah, it feels so like unnatural sometimes to talk online.
Okay.
But
Yeah, no, I get that entirely. And I don't know if that's
something that you
something
can
that what
really
I can do.
avoid.
Yeah.
At least not right now,
Hmm.
you know.
Right. I've been getting into writing letters. I mean, that's not the same. That's not the same thing as like talking to people or like phone calls or such, but it's a different type of social interaction. But yeah,
I get that.
yeah.
You should like think of like a couple games to like
Games.
yeah like in the podcast maybe you reach like 30 minutes and you're like all right
Oh,
now we're gonna come back to this game and you make us do a game or something
I
or
was thinking about what do you think about Pictionary?
Pictionary's good.
Okay.
That's good. I know like
I was gonna like maybe possibly screen share. Like next time I get someone on, I'll like screen share and like get my little like what do you call it? I don't know. Every like what's the paint app or something? The
yeah like MS Paint or something.
exactly, right. And then just
Yeah, you
like
can do
move
that. Like
around.
I know like a lot of like podcasts I watch, they just think of like random games. So like maybe like one of your questions in the next couple of podcaster interviews can just be like help me think of a game or something. Or
Okay.
I could just think of one like I know one they did a pretty fun one where like on my brother do one where they read out one line of a you have to tell them if it's a Dave Matthews Band song or a Fish song. But or
Well,
but sometimes they'll be like but like one of the lyrics I'll say is like a 3 Days Grace
uh,
like lyric and you have to like guess and like Dave Matthews Band and Fish are just so like nonsensical bands that like the lyrics are always just like fucking bizarre.
interesting.
It's funny. So like a game like that would be fun. Just to like in case you're like just like you can't think of anything, you do that and kind of come back and like refresh a little bit.
I like that. I
You
like that
know,
a lot.
something like that, or I don't know. You might think of another one. If I think of one, I'll text it to you or something.
Okay. Yeah. Oh man, I things to work on. Cause like you're right. The setting is very unnatural, and like I do have to like make
I
it
mean,
feel
it's
a little more
yeah. I mean, I don't
like
want to. I
comfortable.
wasn't trying to like you suck, but like but like I do listen to a lot of podcasts and like I've listened to a couple of these too, but uh yeah, I will not listen to this one. I have no interest in listening to this one. I was there for it, so I don't
People
want to
said it.
I don't want to hear how I sound. Like,
Neither
but
do I. I don't watch any of my stuff or like any of my stuff.
yeah, so
Okay. Thanks for giving me ideas.
yeah, I
Appreciate
hope
it.
I helped. I'm not trying to like mansplain or anything or
No. I do I do not feel projection at all.
all right, cool. All right, well, thanks for having me on. I had a great time. If
Bye.
this stays in the podcast, then subscribe and hit that bell and smash that like button. All right.
Bye, Jake.